It's Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm coming at you for the next album review for Halestorm Vicious. Now, this one, oof, it gives you very uncomfortable feelings, which makes it a good thing, and very odd cringes and all that, so you're gonna be surprised with this album if you have not heard it. Like, you're just gonna feel things that you're just like, what the fuck did I just listen to? So I'm gonna go through track by track and let you know my thoughts on this record. Track number 1, Black Vultures. Black Vultures was very good. It kind of relates to her feeling like she's being followed by vultures and deaths upon her. But that's probably what she's feeling, but Lizzie Hale's feeling, but I think the song itself is really good, and it deserves a 5 out of 5. I loved it. It was good guitars, good drums in it, and her voice was just full of power. So it did a good job, so good job on that one. Track number 2, Skulls. And this one was not bad. I think a solid track, I would say. And other than that, I'd give this a 4.5 out of 5. There's not really much to tell, just I was listening to it and I was like hesitant on what to give it at first, and then I'm just like, 4.5 out of 5. It sounds about right. It's a solid track. A really good track too, but the guitars and drums in it are good. Haley's voice, when she repetitively repeats the verse with something with skulls and all that, I only heard it one time, so I can't remember completely. It just was very repetitive, and that's why I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. But the chorus backed it up. Track number 3, Uncomfortable. This was a single, and I do like the video, and I did it because I wanted and all that. Yeah, that's kind of repetitive, but in a good way. And yeah, you get very uncomfortable feelings with this song, and that's why it's called Uncomfortable. So this song was really good, and I'd give this a 5 out of 5. Track number 4, Buzz. This had a lot of 80s, 90s rock feels with this song. Like, this whole album's going for the 80s, 90s rock feel. Almost like, I would say you're hearing a female Bon Jovi. I wouldn't say for sure, but it feels like you're hearing a female Bon Jovi singing and all that in this song, and it's pretty good. I'm not comparing anything, I'm just comparing the fact that it sounds like it. Almost similar to it, but not that similar. Just the way her voice is singing off with the song makes it sound like you're hearing Bon Jovi again. But Buzz is getting a 5 out of 5. I enjoyed the song. Track number 5, Do Not Disturb. Very uncomfortable feelings with this song. Definitely a song that talks about sex. Sorry to blurt that out there, but it's the truth. It really does. When you hear this song, you're just like, oh wow. It's very predictable. Can be intimidating, and Lizzie Hale didn't care. They didn't care to release this. They just were like throwing it in your face and saying, let's see what you guys think of this. So yeah, I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5 because it was a solid track. I just got uncomfortable feels listening to the part where she talks about I'll bring a girlfriend too and all that. And I'm like, very uncomfortable. And she's technically saying that she's a devil in this album, but no. I don't think so. It's just the way she's approaching her songs, it makes it seem like it is, but it's not like that. But 4.5 out of 5 for the song. Track number 6, Conflicted. I think we all feel that sometimes. Where we're very conflicted of ourselves. I'm sorry to go into a different topic of what I'm not saying. Or what I'm trying to say is this song is very conflicting. I think this song was just like a little weak. A little bit weak. But it wasn't bad. It made up in the chorus too. The verses were like they were not too great, but it was what we were getting. So 4.5 out of 5. I think it's drums and guitars in it, and the melody was not too bad. So yeah, and her voice in it was pretty good. Track number 7, Killing Ourselves to Live. Well, yeah, it's like you're fighting with a demon to kill yourself, mostly. But, no. I think this album relates to releasing all that tension, releasing your endorphins, and just trying to see what you can make of this record. Mostly, or make of this situation. I'm reading so much into it, and I'm sorry about that. But it's how I can briefly explain why I like the songs, why I don't. Killing Ourselves to Live's gonna get a 5 out of 5. I actually enjoyed the hooks and the chorus. The chorus was pretty good. The verses were pretty solid. And the flow of the song was amazing. And Lizzie's voice in it was just stood there and didn't stop it. She just released all that energy out there in this song. Track number 8, Heart of Novocaine. Acoustic guitars in it were actually very good. And her voice was just very powerful, very strong, and it did very good. And I am pleased to say I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. Track number 9, Painkiller. Well, it's about like you feel like you need to take a painkiller to numb the pain and to ease the pain off. Pretty much, it's like kind of getting high. That's what it's telling you. But in this situation, the song itself is not too bad. I think it's gonna get a 4.5 out of 5. I don't want to go into too much detail about it. I just want to briefly explain that the guitars and the drums in it were not too bad. Track number 10, White Dress. This song was a little bit at first intimidating, but not too intimidating. The ending of the White Dress song was where she kept singing in a weird high voice, but it was pretty good. Or with that thing or whatever, that hook, where she was holding that note really high and then it dropped a little bit. And if you know what I'm talking about, but it's a very good song. The auto-tune in it was actually not too bad. It made the song a lot better. So 5 out of 5 for this. I originally was going to give it a 4.5 out of 5, but when I heard that high note and then it dropped, I was like, okay. I was like, I'm pleased. Track number 11, Vicious. Vicious is a pretty good song. It's not clearly good enough to give it a 5 out of 5. I think a 4.5 out of 5 sounds about right. And I'm not going to go into detail about why. It's the least favorite. It's good, it's just there are some cringe moments in the song. A lot of cringe moments when you even hear this album. But it's a good kind of cringe. So this song was not too bad. I would say it's a solid track. That's pretty much it. The final track, The Silence. The Silence is about, it is a positive feel kind of song to end the record. A lot of acoustic guitars in it, and her voice in it was very good. So I think it's good enough to get a 5 out of 5. That is going to be the end of this album review. I think this album was very good. I think it's very good enough to give it a 9 out of 10. This is going to be definitely on my Album of the Year awards videos at the end of the year. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it because the majority of the albums I liked in the fall mostly. I meant the spring, like Breaking Benjamin and all those other albums, because there was a lot of good albums in April and May, and somewhat in June. And now we got Halestorm and Daughtry's new albums today. So Halestorm did a pretty good job on this record, so good job on this. I'm actually really pleased, and I think I'm actually going to go pick this record up whenever I can. So comment below, let me know what you think of this record, or Vicious, and what your thoughts on it were, and how I'm doing with my videos. And I'll be back at you for the Cage to Rattle album review sometime today. So take care for now. I'll see you in my next video.